occasionally I get people that ask me how to set up their kiosk and their main timing computer so that the two can talk to each other. So you can do the wireless results kiosk. So I want to show you how I've got my router set up and how I set my computer up, and what you do in the software, of course, to be able to tell everything, where to push the database file and where to pull and all that stuff. So what I've done is I've hooked up my router to my laptop with an Ethernet cable. That probably wasn't necessary, but I went ahead and did it. And I've got the wireless connected here. So this is when I jumped on. You'll see that it's called AG Art AG kiosk. I want to make sure that I give it a name that my timing crews know that's the one you click on. And so by default, with a brand new router, of course, it'll probably be called like Belkin something something. Like these other ones. This one's my home Wi-Fi. These are probably my neighbors that are around me. And so yours would be called. This one would have been called like Belkin C4C or something like that. I can't remember, but we'll look in a second. So let me show you the settings on the router. So basically I scroll down and I don't remember doing anything with any of these, but I do know I jumped into here and I set, you see the name here, Art AG kiosk, and I turned off the media account and I turned off the guest account, which we'll look at in a second. Again, so that the one that I want my crews to connect to is the only one available. So these are the settings I have here. I can't remember if this was on or off by default, but I've turned it off here. Under security, I've turned both of these off. I can't remember again if that was default on or off, but if it was on, then of course I turned them off. Wi-Fi protected setup. Now it looks like these I left on. I've turned off the guest account. And then I left this as, I think that, I can't remember if that's on or off by default also, but the point is I've got a Belkin N600. So if you're looking for a router, that's, if you want to have the exact same setup, then that's the router to get. And so I have really good range with it, never had a problem with it. It's pretty small. And so again, I'm not a networking person. My goal is just to show you how I have it set up. So I can't really explain a lot of these settings and what they do or don't do, but my goal is to have it to where it's an open network. And so I think under this, where was it at? I may have lost it already, but there's a point here where it says, oh yeah, right here. And so it says off. Yours may say open, depending on what kind of router you have. And I believe whenever I set mine to off, that means there won't be a password. So, so that's what I want. So now that's the router, and the next thing is to look at the actual computer. So when I jump on someone's computer that is having trouble connecting the two, I usually click on the little wireless symbol or the network symbol here, and I go to Network and Internet Settings. There's other ways to get to the Network and Sharing Center. That's where we're going. Let me go and open that up. You can also go to Control Panel, and in your Control Panel, if it comes up with the category view, just know that there's a little drop-down box here. You can switch it to small icons, and then right there will be Networking Sharing Center. And so that's going to get you the same place we are already at right here. So, so here, what I do is I click on Advanced Sharing Settings, and I just go through each one of these. And again, a true networking person probably would tell me you don't have to go to this one or that one, but I just go and turn them all on. So I say for every network, make it turn on network discovery, turn on file and printer sharing, go to the guest account, turn on network discovery, turn on file and printer sharing. The most important one probably is here. You want to, of course, turn on sharing here, but you want to turn off password protected sharing. And so that's all the settings I set in here. The next thing I do is I set up a shared folder, and now I don't know, but I'm assuming that Windows handles the public folder, which is under C, Users, Public. Maybe it's already a little bit more open, a little more easy to share. I'll just go and use this just in case it is. And so I go to the Public Documents folder, and I go to Properties, and I go to the Sharing tab. And then here I click on Share. You can give it a name different than this. I just leave it the default name, which is the PC name / documents. Then I would also go to Advanced Sharing and check the checkbox here that says Share this folder. And then I think that may be selected by default. Yeah, so just leave that there. And the other thing you may want to do, I went ahead and gave everyone full access to it. Again, a true networking person may not be happy with that, but the odds of someone getting on that shared folder and the worst they could do is that I can imagine. I mean, I'm sure there's worse than I can imagine, but are they going to what? Is someone going to try to grab that database file before my kiosk can update? I mean, it's very unlikely anyone's going to do anything, and so I have full control for everyone. Again, my goal is to make it as open as possible. That way, there's hopefully no reason why the two shouldn't connect and be able to transfer files and everything. So, but that's the setup I have. Um, the last thing I do is I go to the settings screen. Now we're on the main timing computer right here, so I've got mine set up to go to see users documents, see users public documents. And on your kiosk computer, what you're going to do though is something a little different. You'll go to, like for example, network, and when that expands out, it takes a little while to search the entire network. You should see this shared folder, which I've got set up here. Uh, computer name documents. Click on it, hit OK, and it should appear like this. Now, if it were me, one thing that I would do, and one thing I did do, is navigate to that place. Let's go here to network, and you would set it up as a mapped drive. So you do map network drive, and you give it whatever letter you want. You don't have to do that, but this is I like having a map drive, and the reason why is because I can always, if you know Windows shortcuts, you can do Windows E, and then you can see right off the bat whether or not that drive is available or not. If it's not, I think it's got a little line through it, or it's got a little yield sign or something. Um, and so that's one thing you could do. But yeah, so that's basically the whole setup. Hopefully that gives you some good pointers to or gets you over any humps maybe where you get stuck. So, but yeah, that's how I've got mine set up.